My name is Scott Cunningham, and I'm the founder of a Shopify partner agency called Social Lite, based out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We've been around for 10 years. We also have a second business called Merchant Mastery. It's a coaching and training program for early stage Shopify stores. We've had that business for about 2 years, and we've already helped over 400 Shopify stores through our training. The best thing I think about being a marketer is, I studied psychology, so I think that understanding consumer behavior and why people buy. I don't think marketing should be about manipulation. You shouldn't trick people into buying products. You should understand what they desire and how you're gonna make their life better and get those amazing products in front of them. So it's more about connecting amazing products and services and stories to the right kind of people who are gonna love them. I think marketing, it sometimes gets a bad rap, but we just want to be incredibly authentic with our marketing, provide immense value, and then we're doing good in the world. We're actually connecting amazing brands to amazing people, and everybody's happy. My favorite thing about marketing is connecting people and transforming lives. The worst thing about marketing is that sometimes it gets a bad reputation because people think it's car salesman-y. People think that it's about manipulation and selling snake oil, selling things that people don't actually need, shoving products down people's throats that they don't actually want or love or care about. I think that that's completely the wrong way to approach it. I think it needs to be all about adding value, not trickery. With e-commerce, the difference between 5 years ago and today is that people's buying habits are starting to change. Right? Shopify was founded, I think, in 2007 or 2008. There's a little bit of momentum there with Shopify. People weren't really used to buying online. I know there was some early adopters out in 1999 and 2000, and they were doing e-commerce from day one. But when the big players started getting involved, like Shopify and Amazon, Amazon started early, but they didn't start building momentum until a decade later or so. But I think the thing that's changing is just buying habits. People are getting more familiar with shopping online. People are loving the convenience of receiving products in the mail. I think that the most important thing, the way that e-commerce has transformed over the last 5 to 10 years, is that you could connect your products with customers anywhere in the world. You don't need to be limited by geography. You can sell your products to people who love your products wherever they are. The reason I like to support Shopify businesses versus somebody just selling on Amazon is that with a platform like Amazon, nothing completely against it. We all use Amazon, but with Amazon, there's a pro and a con to it. The pro is if you want to sell products on Amazon, it comes with traffic. So it comes with customers. The major con, that is the major elephant in the room, is that they own the customer data, and it's really hard as a business owner to repeat sell to the customers who love your products. So they kind of just get you in front of customers, but then they don't let you get back in front of those customers. With Shopify, there's a pro and a con to Shopify. The con to Shopify is that it doesn't come with store traffic. So you need to build up your platform on your own. You need to drive traffic. You need to collect email addresses. You need to build your own customer base out of the gate. But the major pro is that you own the entire customer relationship. You own all that data. So if a customer loves you, you know how to get back in touch with them and sell to them again and again and again. And that's the only way really to build a profitable e-commerce store, is repeat selling and growing customer lifetime value. If I were to compare the product pages between Amazon and Shopify, I would absolutely say that Shopify is completely better because you get to represent your brand voice, your brand story. And with something like Amazon, you don't really have any control of how you're going to structure your product page. But with Shopify, really the way that Shopify stores are going to grow is authenticity, telling meaningful stories. And you need to do that through images. You need to do that through product videos, brand colors, your brand images. Everything is going to matter if you want to build a long-term Shopify store. It is actually all about brand. Right? So owning the customer data is one giant piece of the puzzle. But if you want people to fall in love with your brand and buy from you again and again, they need to resonate with your brand. And you have much more control over that with your Shopify product pages. So Social Lite is our agency. We have about 50 Shopify stores that we work with on a month-to-month basis from all around the world. We do not want to scale our agency at an uncontrollable rate. We have a great number of clients. It's more about taking on clients that we think that we can win at instead of just taking on any client that comes our way. So we're very, very meticulous and picky with who we bring on for the agency. This is because we care a lot about staff retention and we care a lot about client retention. We're not being picky because we don't like clients. We love our clients, but we only want to work with clients that we believe that we can help. So we do this in a very controlled way. We do onboard quite frequently, but our goal isn't to just take on everybody who might need an agency service. We would look under their hood. We would look at their Shopify store, look at their Facebook ads and their email backend. And then we would say, we think that we can win at this. And with our agency, this is one of the most groundbreaking things that we introduced into our business over the last 4 or 5 years, is that you can't really hire us for a long-term project. You have to start with a 90-day accelerator. So no Shopify store, no e-commerce business can hire us without going through this 90-day accelerator. And it's just as much for us as it is for them. They get to test the relationship and we get to see if we can actually win at this relationship as well. And if things go well in that first 90 days and we knock it out of the park, then we're like, this looks like it's going to be a good long-term relationship. Let's look at how the future goes from here. My relationship with DigitalMarketer started in 2016. We were subscribers of DigitalMarketer's HQ service, so we would use it to train all of our staff. We would put them through the content marketing mastery certification. We would put them through all of it, like e-commerce and everything else. And we soon realized that we wanted to kind of go a little bit deeper on growing our agency, not just training our staff, but we wanted more skills and tools to grow our agency. So we joined DigitalMarketer's Certified Partner program and we started adopting some really phenomenal tools over there. I was really relentlessly implementing the customer value journey with our own agency and with our clients. And we started really picking up speed. We were building a lot of momentum. And to be quite honest, I became a little bit of a poster child for the customer value journey. I was always presenting it on stages all over the place. I was presenting it in sales meetings, at entrepreneur centers, at conferences. When the Digital Marketer coaching program was about to launch, I got tapped on the shoulder and they said, hey Scott, we know how much you love the customer value journey. What do you think about coaching others on how to do it? And I joined the Digital Marketer Elite coaching program as a coach in May 2020. And honestly, I think that's probably one of the most rewarding things that I go through as a person is helping businesses implement. There's one thing about our agency and we want to build in a controlled way. We also have a business called Merchant Mastery where we do a lot of coaching and training too. And I love that part of it. And with Digital Marketer, it's the same idea. I love getting to go in there and work with different businesses and help them implement real campaigns that are going to gain traction and get them the results that they're really dreaming of. If you want to grow your agency successfully, I have 3 tips for you. And this is kind of like a little guideline that I've been following over the years. The first thing that you need to do is know it. Okay, so you need to understand a methodology that is going to help a specific customer segment grow. It's not about just doing marketing tactics for everybody under the sun. Pick a niche that has a specific problem and get obsessive about coming up with a method that is going to help that customer segment solve that problem. Get relentless about it. The second thing is grow it. So we know it, now we got to go and grow it. It's one thing to understand marketing. It's another thing to take on clients in the real world, implement your method, and get repeatable results for your clients over and over again. So you got to know it, you got to grow it. The third thing is you got to show it. So now that we understand this method, now we're gonna go and grow these businesses. We have a ton of case studies. Now we gotta go and show the world, and we're gonna leverage the success that we were having with all of these case studies. That means taking your case studies on the road. That means running ads and leveraging customer testimonials. And that means content marketing too. You gotta teach the world about what you actually did. So we don't wanna just go out there and preach methods. We wanna know methods, we want to implement those methods and get results, and then we want to go and leverage that to build our pipeline. I think one of the biggest impacts that we had implementing our method was deciding that we wanted to get really specific with one niche. When we started our agency, we were a generalist agency. We went a mile wide on industries and tactics, but only an inch deep on the subject matter that we were serving. So we decided to niche and we started to repel anybody who wasn't a Shopify store. So all these existing clients started to tap us on the shoulder and say, what's going on? Did you guys do a transformation overnight? And we said, we stuck to it. And we said, absolutely, this is the only thing that we do. And we started to attract a lot of people that were in the Shopify space. we started to become authorities in the Shopify space. We started to teach on Shopify Academy. We host Shopify meetups all around North America. We teach webinars with Klaviyo and Privy and all these big players in the e-commerce space. But it's because we decided to go a mile deep in e-commerce, right? Not just an inch wide anymore. We're going a mile deep on this stuff, and that's been having a really big impact. And when I was talking about earlier, like the know it, grow it, show it, when we weren't doing just e-commerce, we didn't have a lot of repeatable case studies, right? We worked with a lot of different businesses. We had some case studies. And then when we would go and show it to other people, it wouldn't make sense to them because they're saying, hey, I'm a car dealership and you're showing me a hotel case study. That doesn't resonate with me. But if I'm creating e-commerce case studies and showing those to other e-commerce entrepreneurs, it immediately resonates. So we started to only work with those Shopify stores, deploying those strategies, and we started to knock it out of the park. Like we started to deploy, we actually used the customer value journey in all of our strategies. So we were deploying the customer value journey with these e-commerce stores and making sure that we obsessed about getting measurable results. And that happened. When your staff is all focused on just e-commerce, they get really good at it, right? And then we can start to just obsess about the result, not obsessing about the next tactic, the next client, the next industry. Let's just work with this one space and do incredibly well and get those case studies time and time again. One e-commerce business that we really helped is a company that sells hot sauce out of Prince Edward Island, way out in Eastern Canada. When we met with them, they'd been around already for 10 years. And actually when the pandemic hit, their wholesale sales started slowing down quite a bit, right? So they decided to make the pivot and focus more on their Shopify store. And they saw a little bit of momentum right when the pandemic first hit, and then things tapered off as it did with a lot of businesses. They met us through one of our events that we were hosting. We looked under the hood. They looked like a great business that we could help. They were doing about $25,000 to $50,000 a month when we first met, and we helped them launch this big Black Friday Cyber Monday campaign. And in the month of November 2020, we helped them hit $206,000 in sales. So they jumped from doing 50 in October to over 200 in November. And they had to shut down their Black Friday sale. And they were filming all their staff in the back with fulfillment, and it just looked like a really busy place. So it's one of those good problems to have. Another e-commerce business that we helped sells high ticket jewelry, and it's antique jewelry. So this business has product market fit. They were doing a lot of things really well. They were kind of getting a lot of sales without doing a lot of advertising. And we looked under their hood and they were doing about $100,000 a month. So it would go up and down. Sometimes it'd be 120, sometimes it'd be 80, but the average was about 100,000. And we implemented the customer value journey with them. We implemented a lot of different strategies, and we got them to $200,000 a month, and we got them to $300,000 a month. And just last month, we got them to $500,000. And we just keep seeing the growth with that client. If you want to reach out to me, you can join our awesome Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/merchant mastery. There's a couple thousand people in there. There's a lot of e-commerce entrepreneurs in there. There's people from Shopify and Privy and Klaviyo, and it's a really helpful community. So if you want to grow your e-commerce business and you have questions like that, our entire team is in there helping out, and I encourage you to join us.